What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. Since she's in the new Maleficent sequel, Maleficent Mistress of Evil, which opens this week, I decided to do my top 10 favorite Michelle Pfeiffer movies, because she's been in some really great stuff. Like, the woman, by the way, is like, I believe she's in her 60s, if I'm not mistaken, and that woman still looks great, by the way. And she's been in some really loads of good stuff over the years, so, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Michelle Pfeiffer movies. Alright. Coming in at number 10 is the film One Fine Day. Now, this is a really nice little rom-com. Not, well, it's part comedy. It's drama, like romantic drama, I guess you could put it. I mean, in it, Michelle Pfeiffer, plays this architect, who like really needs to give like a very important presentation, and so you got Jack Taylor, played by George Clooney, who's like this reporter looking to like land a big scoop, and so like, but they both have really they both have something like very much in common, that they are both like single parents and all, and they end up meeting each other. They end up falling throughout the whole thing, and they become like also fascinated with each other's kids as well. It's a really nice romantic film. Like Clooney and Pfeiffer were both pretty grand. I mean, hey, this is a Batman and Catwoman romance film if you want to look at it that way. It also starred Alex D. Linz, plays like the son in this. You had Good Girls girl Mia Whitman was also in this. It's a really nice little charming film. If you guys ever seen One Fine Day, it's an interesting Michelle Pfeiffer movie worth giving it a shot. Alright, coming in at number 9, it is Married to the Mob. Now, in it, it stars Pfeiffer as this woman named Angela D. Marco, who's like very fed up with her gangster husband, played by Al Borden, line of work, and was like no part of the crime world. But when her like husband ends up getting killed for having an affair with the mistress of a mob boss, played by named Tony the Tiger Russo, played by Dean Stockwell, Angela and her son ended up departing from shoot for NYC to like make a fresh start, but like Tony ends up setting his sights upon Angela, so it's up to like this undercover FBI agent, she pretty much played by Matthew Modine, trying to bust Tony and all. Now, this is really cool. It's a very different gangster film when it got released. It was a very interesting dark comedy back in the days. Matthew Modine was pretty great in this. Alec Baldwin was, he's Alec Baldwin. What more can you ask for there? It's a really good little film. And it's directed by Jonathan Demme, was directed this, who of course gave us Silence of the Lambs. You also had Joan Cusack, Nestor Travis was also in this. Really good film. If you guys ever seen Married to the Mob, give it a shot. Alright. Coming in at number 8, it is The Fabulous Biker Boys. Not Biker Boys, Baker Boys, I always keep calling it Biker Boys, but there's another film called Biker Boys, so that's kind of why. But anyway, in Fabulous Baker Boys, it's where like these two brothers named Frank and Jack Baker, played by Bo and Jeff Bridges, who are like these two brothers who have like performed together in a small but successful piano act for like years and all. And so like they end up both falling for like pretty much for like this stunning singer named Susie Diamond, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. So they pretty much want to try, like, both of them want to try to win her heart and all. It's a really interesting flick. Michelle Pfeiffer, that woman could sing, and she looked really good in this too. I'm not gonna lie there. And obviously, Jeff and Bo Bridges both had really great chemistry for one another. They're brothers in real life, so obviously they're gonna have good chemistry. And it also has some pretty good music in it, good performances. If you guys, this is another Pfeiffer movie worth checking out. Alright. Coming in at number 7, it is... Oh, dang it. Lost it. Alright. Coming in at number 7, it's the film I Am Sam. Now, I Am Sam is probably one of my favorite Sean Penn performances. It's not really my favorite film of his per se, but Sean Penn was great in this. He plays like this. It's pretty much the story of this mentally challenged father, named Sam Dawson, played by Sean Penn, who's trying to raise his daughter, played by Dakota Fanning, with the help of a unique group of friends in her. And here, and as Lucy ends up turning 7, it begins to intellectually surpass her father. Their close bond ends up being drained when this unconventional living agreement comes the attention of a social worker named Lucy, and they're trying to he's trying to win custody of his kid and all. And Michelle Pfeiffer plays the lawyer here, and I thought Michelle Pfeiffer was great here. I mean, her as a lawyer, she definitely passes as a lawyer. And the movie was really you're gonna need tissues if you're watching I Am Sam. It has some very touching moments. A great father and daughter relationship between Sean Penn and Dakota Fanning. Dakota Fanning also had really good interaction with Michelle Pfeiffer as well. And you see that Michelle Pfeiffer's character really, cares and all that. And if you guys never seen I Am Sam yet, it's a really great one. But man, you need tissues while you're watching that movie. Alright, coming in at number 6, Number 6 might be a little uncontroversial because lots of people don't really like the film that much, but I kind of got a kick out of it. And number 6, it is Grease 2. Now, the original Grease is an all-time classic musical. It's one of the best musicals there is. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John were great. But years ago, they decided to do, years after the original Grease got released, they decided to do a sequel with Grease 2, and the film got plummeted by reviews. Lots of people call this one of the worst musicals of all time. Lots of people really do not like Grease 2. But I gotta say, is Grease 2 as great as the John Travolta one? Maybe not. I mean, the original still holds a place in my heart. But Grease 2, I still quite like. Michelle Pfeiffer's character didn't have the charm with her love interest as John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John did. But Michelle Pfeiffer really sang great here. She was not with Olivia Newton-John, of course, but she was pretty decent in her part.
You're not cooking.
You also had this actor named Maxwell Caulfield, who actually plays her pretty much her love interest, if you will, who ends up they end up falling for each other and all. Yeah, Grease 2 has some. I really quite like the music in this. I admit Grease 2 probably the best part is probably the music more than the film itself. But I still never really found this movie to be bad. And Michelle Pfeiffer, I thought she played her part well. Her chemistry with Caulfield was pretty great. And her chemistry with the Pink Ladies was all great. I mean, Grease 2 is not that bad of a film. Alright, coming in at number 5, it's Dangerous Minds. Dangerous Minds, come on, it's probably her best performance. I mean, if I was to do best performances, this will actually be probably number 1, to be honest, yeah. But for films, it's number 5. Dangerous Minds is fan-freaking-tastic. I just Googled Dangerous Minds and found out it has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, how the heck does this have 20%? It's beyond me, but I mean, in it, you got Michelle Pfeiffer who plays this former Marine named Luann Johnson, who ends up landing a teaching gig at this pilot program, and she's trying to help the bright minds of these interstate high school kids. And it's a great one. Michelle Pfeiffer as a teacher, you really brought that great. Her chemistry with all the students was great. And come on, this movie gave us an introduction to an interesting song, "Gangsta's Paradise" by Coolio. I mean, come on, that gets no better than that. "Gangsta's Paradise," who doesn't love that song, And not to mention Coolio was also in this too, so did that as well. But yeah, Dangerous Minds is I think when people think of Dangerous Minds, actually "Gangsta's Paradise" is really the song it's really the song where you think of when you're thinking of a Dangerous Minds. So yeah. I mean, hey, that song goes from Dangerous Minds to being in the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. Go figure there. But anyway, if you guys never seen Dangerous Minds, this is seriously a movie I've actually watched in school, by the way. And normally it's R-rated, and normally teachers can't show R-rated stuff, but this I think even younger folks should appreciate. I mean, yeah, Dangerous Mind is such a great one. And how does it have a 20%? It's still beyond me, but whatever. Alright, coming in at number 4, it is The Witches of Eastwick. I mean, come on, you got a cast that includes people like Pfeiffer, Susan Sarandon, Cher, Jack Nicholson, based on the novel by John Updike. We're like these three friends, played by Cher, Susan Sarandon, and Michelle Pfeiffer, have like lost their pretty much has lost the man in their lives, until like this stranger named Daryl Van Horn, played by Jack Nicholson, ends up arriving, and pretty much begins courting each of them. And also, Daryl ends up telling them that they're witches, and the three friends also spend more time in the mansion, and so they end up pretty much beginning to worry about Daryl's ultimate intentions and all. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Witches of Eastwick is pretty decent. I mean, it's pretty creepy. It's part romance. It's part romance, part horror. There's comedy in this. There's a little something for everyone in this film. And Witches of Eastwick is an 80s classic right there. If you guys ever seen it, it's a really good one. And speaking of Cher, Michelle Pfeiffer and Susan Sarandon has to do another film together. Maybe a reboot of Witches of Eastwick. I think that could actually work today. Anyway. Alright, coming in at number 3, it is Hairspray. Now, directed by Adam Shankman, based on the Broadway show. Yeah, and funny enough, the film stars John Travolta and Michelle Pfeiffer. It's actually pretty funny those two are in this together because John Travolta was in the original Grease, while Michelle Pfeiffer was in the sequel. So I always found that to be a little funny. And Michelle Pfeiffer actually plays the role of Velma Von Tussle, who's the mother of the mean girl Amber Von Tussle, played by Brittany Snow. And Michelle Pfeiffer doesn't really sing a lot in this movie. I think her the only major sing she really does is the duet with is that Big Bond, Beautiful Song, and that one song that she the Miss America Miss Baltimore song that she sang, and she's the character's not that good, but Michelle Pfeiffer was terrific here. And she does some not so great stuff. She seduces Christopher Walken's character. She pretty much tries to sabotage Tracy and all. And Hairspray, it's one of my favorite musicals. The movie obviously, but I never really seen the Broadway show, to be honest, yeah. But yeah, Hairspray. I could really watch this movie over and over. It's great. And Michelle Pfeiffer, Queen Latifah's in this. Brittany Snow, Nikki Bolonsky, Zac Efron. List goes on and on. I mean, it's a really great one. Alright, coming in at number 2, it is her role as Catwoman in Batman Returns. I mean, come on. Michelle Pfeiffer in the Skin Tight Lair. Who didn't love that one? Now, of course, it was just announced recent that Zoe Kravitz was just cast as a Catwoman. I mean, I'm sure Zoe Kravitz would be great. And I quite liked Halle Berry's portrayal. Julie Newmar was great. But no one could really beat Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer, her, chemistry with Batman, played by Michael Keaton, was great. Tim Burton, of course, directed it. You also had Danny DeVito as the Penguin. I mean, more can you ask for there? Yeah, Batman Returns is really great. I mean, I still probably prefer 1989's Batman, but Batman Returns is still off the hook, and It's a shame we never really got to see Michelle Pfeiffer play Catwoman again after, but hey, she'll still always be Catwoman in my book. All right, now my favorite Michelle Pfeiffer movie of all time is obviously Scarface. It's also my favorite Al Pacino movie too. And Michelle Pfeiffer, she actually plays like the wife of Tony Montana. I like saying Tony Montana's name like that, but anyway, yeah, her like romantic relationship with Al Pacino really sells this film. You know, Scarface is really it's an iconic film. It's a masterpiece right there. Has some iconic lines here. I mean, who doesn't love Scarface? And Michelle Pfeiffer, she was just a rock in this film, and Sunday. And she also put off a pretty good like Italian accent too. I mean, I really quite liked her accent in this. And yeah, Brian De Palma, I thought he did a great job at directing Pfeiffer in this. I mean, everyone always talks about how great Al Pacino is, but not many people talk of how great Michelle Pfeiffer was. And Michelle Pfeiffer was magnificent in this movie. I mean, Scarface period is great. So anyway, oh, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. All right. All right. The quick rundown: 10. One Fine Day. 9. Married to the Mob. 8. The Fabulous Baker Boys. 7. I Am Sam. 6. Grease 2. 5. Dangerous Minds. 4. The Witches of Eastwick. 3. Hairspray. 2. Batman Returns. And 1. Scarface. Now, of course, she's been in loads of other stuff over the years. Let's see. Her other credits include that Harrison Ford movie, What Lies Beneath. She was, of course, Wasp in, or I should say, Van Dyne in Ant-Man and the Wasp, like the original Wasp, I should say. Of course, Stardust she was great in, which was directed by Matthew Vaughn. She appeared in Murder on the Orient Express. That was pretty good. Dangerous Liaisons. Dark Shadows, also directed by Tim Burton. She was in that Robert De Niro film, The Family. She was in that not-so-good Jennifer Lawrence movie, Mother. She was in that movie, Lady Hawk, Wolf, which also had Jack Nicholson. Age of Innocence, Frankie and Johnny, White Orlando, Wizard of Lies, also with De Niro. The Russia House she was in, Cherry, New Year's Eve she appeared in, People Like Us. I could go like Personal Effects. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer's been in some interesting stuff. But let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Michelle Pfeiffer movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is T Movies signing off.